Would you say drove you to write your book? Why did you want to write your book?
Well, to be honest with you, Mark, I've always have been writing personal stuff so far. So like, is it a diary? Is this letter to myself? Is this letter to like somebody's things that you cannot say, you know? And recently I've been doing the job of like being a minute writer for the past like year and a half, and I really enjoyed it being a writer and like rephrasing sentences and words and everything. I've always loved reading books as well, so for me that was like a win-win, you know. And starting this series with you, you know, it's like it's not writing a book out of nowhere. It's writing a book about places that I know, you know, it's about a country that I know, about history that I know, about culture and food and everything that I know of. You know, it's not just about like imagining a story and being creative. Don't be afraid to try new things. For example, here we have snails, we have frog legs. I don't like frog legs personally, but snails are delicious. So don't be afraid of trying new things and weird things, especially in this country, whether it's the cheese, the food, or whatever, or even the experience. You know, you can go under the basic the igloo. I don't know how to like say it in English properly. It's basically the water conduct underneath the city, and you can see like a whole city that was in the Middle Age before, like in the 14th century or even before, with all skulls and dead things. But be open to like the culture, you know.
Three things to do as a traveler in France, let's say in Paris, that you'd recommend for travelers.
The food, because it's delicious and it's very rich and dense. So that's a must thing you can do in Paris or in France or any city in France you go, because each of the city they have a different gastronomy and they have different local food and like culture.
Name one type of food.
It would be any like brioche, viennoiserie, croissant, pain au chocolat. Yes, it is cliche, but there's a reason it's cliche, because it's delicious. Sit down on a terrace and just enjoy your time. Just breathe in the air and just enjoy your coffee with your croissant or your pain au chocolat and just take it in. You know, that's my first thing that I would recommend as a foreign traveler to Paris, museums as possible. Go to as many historical and cultural places as possible. And nature, you know, like go to a wood or to a forest or go to a park, you know, like we have the opportunity to have like a decent, nice weather here. And it's a shame not to be able to take it in and just, you know, just walk places are safe, you know, it's like parks and there's like security and all of that. It's fine. However, when you're a young person, I think it's hard to live far, you know, like if you go to a touristic place, which is, for example, the Eiffel Tower, you see all those vendors selling small Eiffel Towers, like on some kind of like cloth on the floor. Don't fall for it, you know, just don't fall for it. If people are asking you for money, don't fall for it.
What's the safety like right now and in 2022 going into 2023? And would you recommend travel currently to France?
Well, the safety, it is rather safe, to be honest. Every terrorist attack that has been happened has been kind of controlled, and it was the last one was in 2015, if I'm correct. And it's been controlled, you know, it all did happen because of the migration flow that came with everything that was happening in Syria and in Turkey and all of that, but now it's under control.
More positive topics. What are a
Mhm.
few hidden gems, but not too many, so that we don't disclose them because they're all going to be in your book and it's going to be exclusive?
Don't fall for the touristic places, you know. Yes, it's nice to visit and everything. However, for example, the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to use that example because I see so many foreigners. There's one street in Paris, everybody is standing there to take pictures because it's close to the Eiffel Tower. However, there's another one that's very close to the Eiffel Tower that most people don't know of, and nobody is standing there. and you can take great pictures as well there. So it's a shame, not to give this information to the future people who will read the book in order to have the perfect Instagram photo. Or, for example, the local restaurants. So many people go into touristic traps in the touristic places because they're like hungry. Basically, it's not just to send them to touristic places. Yes, touristic places, but with local addresses that only French people would actually go to and eat or drink. Bonjour and say merci and say au revoir, which is very important to them, even if they're not saying it. But just basic politeness, it's gonna change your trip to a whole like level of 360 degrees. And I really advise like the foreigners or whoever who wants to travel to Paris or France or any other cities just to be polite.
What's your favorite part of France in general?
Honestly, I live in the suburbs and I love living in the suburbs because Paris is so crowded nowadays. We have so many tourists all the time. Go in Paris every time in the town, in the touristic places. I feel like I'm a tourist again. I see all these new restaurants. I see all these like monuments. I see all of this and I'm like, wow, I am very lucky to be living in such a city. I feel like it's such a blessing to be able to live here and to re-experience those things again every time. And that's my favorite part.
You want the world to know about you that is not really well known.
So yeah, so the fact that I'm like tricultural and actually I feel closer to all of my cultures here rather than in its own countries for each one of them. This is what is crazy because you get to meet so many people here that come from different, backgrounds, and you're like, oh, you're Lebanese, no way, me too. Oh, you're Persian, no way, me too. How come? Like,
Within your book, there's going to be all the places that it's you, like you said, very packed, but all the places that people do not know that are not packed. That's
exactly.
why you want the world to know about Easy Mark Publishing.
Gives the opportunity to many young women and many young writers and young authors to be able to expand their craft. And this is something I haven't been seeing in many companies, whether it's publishings or not. And it's really refreshing to have like a young publisher and a young entrepreneur give voice to women, give voice to like freelancers or people who are just trying to make it and just trying to like have a different aspect or perspective in life. And this is something I want people to know is that this company, Easy Mark Publishing, it is a company that gives opportunity to women to be able to express themselves and to be able to actually succeed. And right, it's not about profit, it's not about money, it's not about none of that. It's about having a chance to be able to do something different. A chance that maybe a great big publishing company wouldn't give you. And this is what I like about Easy Mark Publishing.
Like we're creating something like these look pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Like I think
they
like
look amazing. They're
without
not
a
pretty
doubt,
good. They look amazing. Yeah.
without a
And you
doubt, but
have
there
the ebook
are,
version. And the thing is, like, it takes time to write a great book, but we're doing it all of us as a team. You know what I mean?
and at the
And
same
that's our
time,
strength.
that's the whole point is that we're doing it. So
Yeah.
we're instead of doing it in 20 years, we're doing it in 2 years because
Yeah.
everyone's doing it at once, right?
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
instead of me being the ego guy and me writing it all myself or me getting it ghostwritten, which I could do, which I could have done, which I decided not to do for a lot of reasons. I want to work with people. I want to people get better books when it's that their name on it. They actually care about it. There's pride. Okay. The third thing is that we're connecting everyone around the world. We're building culture. We're all fighting for this. It's
Yeah.
better.
Stay positive for the new year, and we're gonna work hard on this, all of us as a team. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me through WhatsApp or anything. You know my hours. And I don't know if you celebrate Christmas, but have a great
I do, of course.
Merry
And happy
Christmas.
holidays. Happy holidays to
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays to everyone and everyone watching this. And yeah.
Exactly.
All right. All the
And
best.
see you all next year.
Yes. Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Bye, Mark.